Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my shop, Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and I'm your host. Hey, I just wanted to reach out and let you guys know that the virus hasn't taken me down, and actually, I hope everybody is doing their part and doing what we can to make us get to the other side of this as fast as possible. Okay, so I have been moving and prepping all at the same time. Not so much a lot of physical items brought over here yet, because like one, I did the floor, and we have the electrical conduit is complete in this room. I have a couple panel plates to put up, and of course right here is going to be the three-phase coming in for the three items we have here. We have a three-phase there and a single phase there, two three-phase over at that side there. You can see that I brought over some of my artwork. This really, in the last 2 days, this really made this start to feel like it's going to be my shop. Been taking and making the best judgment calls of what we can to get ready, and really heeding to just loading up machines and dragging them in and putting them in here. One, the electrical is so much nicer and easier to put in and create its paths with nothing on the floor. But I did come in and I laid out the machines on the floor with some chalk, and I kind of know where everything is actually going to be. I'm going to give you some little tidbit photos and a little video strips that I've done with my phone here, and kind of clue you in on what has been going on. I had to degrease, etch, scrub this floor. Landlord came in and stripped the bad drywall off and replaced that. Put the white paint job on the walls. Even did a second coat on here. Nice backdrop for the artwork. We redid some plumbing over here. We put in a new hot water heater for the bathroom, and that's all squared away. I've gone all LEDs. These here are 8-footers. And there's 6 of them here and 2 of them over on that side of the beam, and they project out ample amount of light, even maybe a little bit much. But I do have a dimmer control on that, and I can have individual lights, because actually I've been playing around here and just kind of the settings of light that I actually have to give the camera. I had to adjust it somewhat, because these LEDs do a little bit different than or a regular light bulb. So the furnace is being rewired, and then that'll be hooked up. We have a portable one that we've been using just to keep the place warm while we were doing. They redid the roof, brand new rubber roof up there, and a brand new chimney stack on there. In the other bay, we poured concrete at the end of the slab, so that the plasma cam is going to have a nice solid surface to anchor down, and I'll level out and anchor it down in position there. We do have a vehicle lift in that side, and we are going to probably run our welding table right down the center there, but we want to be able to use that personally, or if it's worthwhile, we'll use the vehicle lift. The insulation was put in the overhead there to block or create that air path between the underside of the metal roof and the room itself, so that whether we heat that with wood or we have a gas furnace, whether we bring in gas from the street or whatever, we're not going to be sweating on that roof. And we've already had a pretty good rainstorm, and there's a couple little pinholes in the roof, and the minimum amount of moisture getting in. So we're almost set in that room. We like I said, we're complete in here except for running our main wire from the panel to the meter on the outside, and then we have an overhead here that's going to carry the big 220 for the Waller's plasma cutter and the rest of the wiring over to the other bay. And then we're going to be putting that in there as well. We do have some insulation that's going to start going up on the walls, and it'll be on the north face there. And we're just going to go until we run out of that material for right now. We're not getting into the expense of continuing on, other than what we have to pertain to now as far as getting our items up and running, the Wallers and the plasma table, and get the computer set up. I ran out of paint for the floor. Surprising. I thought it was going to come closer than it was. This is 24 by 29, which is 670 square foot, something like that, give or take a little bit. And the paint actually said it covers 1,000 square foot. We always know that what they say is not going to happen. It's, just like a salesman on a car, same deal, or plasma cam or plasma cutter selling you a machine that's going to sever. Remember that word, sever. Sever is different than cutting. Okay. So we picked up some more paint. It'll be in here Monday, or everything's getting slightly delayed now because of the virus we're dealing with, and that's just got to be acceptable. I also have a steel armored door that I want to put in the side of the new container. The new container's set on the ground, and we've leveled it out, and I've got shelves in there, and I'm now free to start bringing over. And every trip that I come from the other shop over to this shop, I start putting more items into the container. So we're progressing that way. Everybody's asking, hey, is Eversource got your 3-phase yet? Eversource has contacted us a couple times, and they want different paperwork information, mailing address, and every once in a while they come in with a question like that. And other than that, we haven't heard from them. But we've still got just a little bit more work to do on electrical to be absolutely waiting 100% on them for our power. Now we have an old panel in here, and we're going to go ahead and neaten up the wiring, put all the breakers in the old panel there, and we'll run a jumper from the old panel to the new panel to just get our 120, all of our outlets running. And I'd be also to be able to run my plasma cam would be nice, and so I can be partially running with minimal effort there. And if I really came down to the 3-phase, I have had reach outs from the community, and so whether we go with a phase converter or something like that, the community has reached out to us. We're just hoping that things fall in place that can make it happen without that. Also, I want to reach out and I want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for all the help that has come in on my GoFundMe, and also just the sponsorships that's come in on my website, and all the mail-ins that have come in through the regular postal mail. I have a list that one of my viewers has put together a list of all the on the GoFundMe, and I like to roll that at the end of the video as credits. All right, and so I'm going to see about doing a little copy and paste there. My best friend Vince, he had, a couple weeks back, he had to go to China, and he went over for a week, and he went for medical reasons. And then he got over there, and anyway, outcome didn't come to getting the medical attention that he needed, but he did find out some of the things that he needed to do, and he's going to be in a long waiting period for back surgery. And this is, this is one of these countries that has, everybody has insurance, so there's a line. There's pluses and minuses to everybody's form of government and systems that they operate by. Anyway, he made it back from China, and so he quarantined himself in the house. And so I was without my computer and stuff that I like to edit, and actually has all my trick intros and my editing software and everything else in it. And I just got that PC back this afternoon. He was able to put it outside for me, and I was able to pick it up, and I have it. And so I'm going to be starting to get back into creating videos and keeping you guys up on what's actually going on here. So anyway, through my little clips and stuff, you're going to get to see some of the changes that came about getting this place ready, and the container. And I might even throw a little bit of projects here and there that I've been doing over the other place that I really didn't create videos on, but you can see that I was actually doing a little bit of work while I was making this move. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what been going on. Okay, let's start over here. All right, this 3-phase right here is going to be for the surface grinder, a Brown and Sharp surface grinder, the one we haven't hooked up yet. And it's going to set in this location right here, and then I'm going to put the air ventilation and everything else to the right of it there. And we also have the 110s out here just for any of the lights or any of the other things in that area. And each one of these is accented with just the 110 on it. So whether you got readouts or and also too, if something come up and you need to plug in something like a pistol drill or something like that, you do that with no problem. All right, now there we go. All right, right here is going to be, and these are going to be flat faced. They're going to have a restraint drop down here. The K and T is going to be in this location right here, and it's going to be kicked off at an angle so that I can run shafting out the double swing doors. All right, and I'm just going to work it in that one direction there. Other than that, it's really the direction I would cut long keyways and shaft and stuff like that. All right. So now we're going to go over here, and in this corner, it's going to be, of course, you probably won't see this plug when the machine's in here, but this is going to be the sibling drill press, and I'm going to put it in here. This is the highest portion of ceiling in this room, and of course the tail end sticks in the corner, but that's going to give you this table out here in the middle of this area right here, and it's going to be narrow enough to where you still got access to come in and go to this shitter here or whatever you want. I'm going to pad off of here, and I'm going to have some tooling here. Most of the artwork is up high. Most of the tooling is going to be low. And I really want to leave it as displaying my artwork in here versus in with the metalworking, just because this is a less dust collecting area, and they'll stay much nicer in that and displayed properly. So I'm kind of just like picking up a little bit on that. All right, let's move on over here. All right, basically right here in front of this half of the door, so that I can swing that open if I need to, is going to be the hydraulic press, and it's going to be this way here, and I'll be able to stick out that direction. I'll also be able to stick out somewhat that direction. I can work the front and the back if I want to. Not so much off of the back, because on the other side here, this three-phase here is for the hydraulic press. This three-phase here is going to come down, and that's actually going to be my X-carve. And the X-carve will be actually sitting here a little bit closer. So the back of the X-carve area will be on the back side of where you come into the door here. And I use the X-carve table a lot for an office as well. We'll have a counter here. I'm going to do away with my desk. Okay, I'm going deskless now. It's just not needed. You know, you can't get any work done there. But on the X-carve actually ties in with my computer and the counter here. And everything's going, bookkeeping is all going over to QuickBooks. In fact, actually, that has absorbed a lot of my headspace here since the divorce. And trying to put the bookkeeping part of Turn Right Machine Works in a better spot than it was. And so anyway, don't want to get too much into that. All right, let's go around to the other side here. All right, over here just a little bit farther. All right here is the three-phase is going to drop down. The back, right about where I'm standing, is going to be the back side of the closet. And the headstock will be right here. The bed will go here, leaving 4-foot walk around in between there, so you'll have room for the surface grinder and a walk around. You'll be able to take the gantry and actually come around the end of the lathe. And then you'll have the walk area back here, which will have the hydraulic tracer. This wall here will become for mounting the mandrels. This old panel will be, and it'll be a lot better. We're going to have some other plugs that are going to come in down for here, just in case we have to bring something. And we also are going to be working Buffy in the middle of the room. It's going to be the main project. Once we get moved over here, everything gets settled down, work starts rolling. Buffy is going to be in the center of attention here, and we're going to get going on her. Okay, over here, the Rutland tooling bench will go right here with all the arbors and all of that. And the Rutland headstock will be, tailstock will be here, and the headstock will be over here. And the alignment of this and the closing lets the material that flows through the tailstock bypass each other. The actual material can come and go out the door from large machine shafting into the closing, and the back side of the closing will take a long length of material if I want to support it and run collet closure and so on the Rutland. And then I'll have the bench back here, and then that beautiful cabinet. That beautiful cabinet that's in the other shop with the wooden cupboards on it and the tennis player on the door, that will mount over here. And maybe we might put the new tennis player up on the wall over here. Those are major questions that my viewers are asking for, so I'm trying to answer your questions for. But don't forget, she will be coming over here, and she's perfectly safe now. It's just and it's getting close to the time to bring her over. So I'm actually able to put things onto the wall. It's not going to interfere with bringing any big machines in it. Okay, this just happens to be my PC here that I brought in, and I just blew it off and everything else, and it's ready to rock and roll. In the corners, I've been putting my security cameras, and those are going to be up and rolling here. When we get the machinery and major tools and stuff like that over here. All right, that's kind of it for the basic machines that are going to be in this room, and that's going to be the good start. This room here is 24 by 29, as I said, and that old building that I'm in now, over at the shop before I bring my machines over here is 18 by 18. So you're going to see a lot more room between the machines. All right, let's go over to the other section here. All right. All right, here's the area here where the concrete was poured, and this is going to be a nice stable surface for the plasma cam. Now I do have my wood stove that I like to put in here, and we have a stack up here, and where this is going to go in relationship to being able to get behind the plasma, all I need is space to get behind, because I've planned out over the years that I've had the plasma table, how do I really use it? And I really did cross a lot of stuff over it, but I was unloading material, going over it, stacking it, and then putting it back on the machine to cut it to go back the other way. Where I don't really need to have the other side of the backside of the plasma table. I can now unload it off the truck, bring it in with a forklift. I could use either the welding table in between the lift, or I could use the lift itself to actually hold my sheets of material and then feed it onto the plasma machine. So that's kind of how I might incorporate those two items along with this plasma table. The plasma table is the most important tool that's going to be placed in this room. Okay, and we have a secondary door that's going to be going out there, and of course that right there is just the back side of the bathroom. Okay, now let's go around this way here. And of course there's some insulation and stuff that's up here now in our conduit. But this cove right in here is probably where I'm going to put my blast cabinet, my sandblast cabinet. And then there will be a couple outlets on the wall there for the welders, and also maybe over on the back side of the bathroom, a couple outlets for the welders. Okay, this door does open fully, and it's nice, and it slides right out of the way. And that's actually easier to move than my slider, my glass slider at the shop now. The people around that actually go in and out of that will appreciate that comment. Vinyl, once it gets pits, grits, chips, everything else in it, is hard as heck to open and close. All right. Weather's warming up pretty good. You can see that I'm just wearing my long sleeve shirt. Okay, let's take a look above here, and you can see the roof support has got insulation going in between those beam sections now. There's probably, I think there's 10 or 12 inches, probably closer to 10 inches of airspace that flows underneath the metal roof now. And we're going to put vents at each end of each of those, and that's going to stop the sweating that's up there. And so we got a good start on that. I'm going to get on the scissor lift and start mounting the overhead lighting, which we're going to put another 6 8-footers up here. So I got 4 in here and 2 more here off to the side. Same thing we got in the other room. And I'm probably gonna offset them slightly, so they'll probably be 2 foot from this wall here, and then they'll angle up that way there. They'll be more or less centered between the entrance cove here, the bathroom cove, and the wall there, which is pretty close to the center run of the shop. Okay, let's head back into the other room. It's pretty sunny in here, and it's, you know, getting a little difficult to see in here. Okay, today we came in and we hung up some of our lights, and we started laying out our machinery on the floor so that we could get the electrical drop points. This is the closing lathe right here, and the orange chalk actually shows the path, and I wanted to have a shaft be able to go out that door. It's quite a ways to the door, but if we had a really long one, we could run it out the door or bring it in the back of the lathe. At least we'd be able to get it past the door down the center line of the lathe. And of course the drop point. And then we're marking the ceiling where those points are at. Now the next thing here we're working on, this is the K&T and its drop point, and of course its path capable of going out that door. Buffy or Debbie will be here first, and then Buffy will take its place, or her place. And we're pretty sure it's going to be somewhat in the corner here. All that plumbing is going to be removed, and the water's going to come in for the bathroom on the other side of the room, and the heater and everything else will be mounted in there above the stall itself. So this corner is going to be really cleared out and clean, and all the tooling for the mills will be able to go along this wall here. All right, and then we'll start working on the other space there for the hydraulic press, Rutland lathe, and the surface grinder, and our miscellaneous benches and stuff. Okay, we're playing with our tracer attachment again, and we're trying something new for the very first time. We have a fair lead or a rope guide here, and it's got a nice radius here where it goes down into the bore. And on the other side, which is this side here, you can see I've turned that diameter, and we've started radius in this inside so that that rope is not caught or cut, or any sharp raised areas are in there. All right, now this radius here is twice as big as that radius there. That's a quarter, and this is a half. Now we've taken our Starrett radius gauges, and we've located that this is a half and that one is a quarter. Now we've taken the gauge for the quarter and clamped it right to our flat jig for our stylus, just like that. So the stylus comes in, hits here, and goes around. And this tool here is just a flat nose tool that we've given a lot of clearance on this side here, and a nice little edge on the front, and it's carbide brazed tool bit. Here we go. All right, we're just feeding it in a little bit. I'm just going on this one cut here, and we just come back, we feed it in again, another 10 or 20. Oh yeah. Okay. There we go. We're matching it. Just a little polish from the rope going in. All right, nice blend. All right, we're gonna part this off and turn it around. About 3/8 or so, a little bit. That looks pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna leave it just 3/4 on the money. Let's see. Pretty close. We're gonna leave it right there. Might be a little thick here. Well, we lucked out with a beautiful day today, and we got the three-phase wired up on the backside there, and we got the 110 receptacles in. Water heater's buttoned up. It's powered up. This wall over here has got the 110s, and it's got the three-phase for the hydraulic press and the X-carve. We got the 220 box there for the Rutland lathe. And these two outlets here have been powered up as of this morning for above the bench. Right now I just got the wires kind of up off the ground right now. They're all tagged for how they're going to get wired into the breakers. And miscellaneous, just dubbed off the old box for our lights and stuff. All right, we've already degreased the floor. We started last night, and we've hit the majority of where we had a greasy situation on the floor here, and that's kind of cleared up. And we have our etching solution in here now, and we're going to go ahead and work 10 by 10 square foot areas rinse. And we're just lucked out because we have 50-degree weather today, and it's kind of comfortable here. I'm just rolled up my sleeves and everything else because I've scrubbed the roll-up door, both inside and outside. And so I had a little bit of water on the elbows there. Anyhow, we're getting ready to go. Just letting you guys know that we are working on the floor. We're going to get it painted as soon as it's dry after today's procedure. Alright, I just completed putting together 6 shelf units. These are Husky Shelving. I get these at Home Depot. I kind of got them off to the left hand side of my container. Well, now I can start bringing some of my storage stuff over. Start setting up this as a storage area. I'll be leaving this area here for parking the Porsche in the wintertime and some other things. And along this side here, I'm going to be putting a armored door, which is just a heavy-duty steel door. And that'll be framed off and set in properly, so I can have access in on the side. This is like an echo chamber here because the wood chippers and shredders, all that are working out there in the distance. Pretty noisy stuff. Anyhow, we're getting ready to close this up and make a first trip over and pick up some stuff we need to put in storage. Well, here we are. Next day after the paint job. We were short. We have some more ordered. In fact, we went ahead and ordered the same amount we have now because we want to finish that area there, and we're going to want to do into that closet over there. And if we have any extra, then we'll probably spill over into the upper part of next door. Otherwise, we're happy. It's a good finish. It's going to make sweeping up a lot better. All right, we've got a few things going on here. We don't know how much or if we're going to be able to do much work after supposedly a travel ban is going to go into effect on Sunday here in Massachusetts. I don't know what it's going to do in the rest of the United States, but that's the word so far. All the conduit is running here. We are complete in this room. We do have our breakers, and we'll be wiring that up. We have the main power that's got to go from the panel to the meter, and then we have the 220 lead going over there, and then we can start push the wire through, put the box, and we can start wiring that room. All right, we go on through our openings here, and we have the scissor lift here to go ahead and put our lights up above. We have a layer of insulation. We're going to put louver openings at each end of each of those rafters and let it free breathe, and that'll keep that sweat from dripping. We've noticed that since that one day that we showed the video, that was just water dripping basically from the pipe bursting up above. Besides that, pretty well holding dry in here. The windows are washed. Most of the stuff is clear. The concrete has been poured, so my plasma cam can mount here now. There's where the 220 is going to come through, and then we'll bring down and we'll mount our welder outlets and everything else on this side here until the other side is insulated and drywalled, which will probably be within the year, before next winter. All right, I just wanted to reach out to you guys, and so I'm going to kind of keep it short, but I'm going to try to get on here more and include a little bit more, especially on how I undo my machines. But I'm laughing because I get comments and it's like, hey, where's your stiletto heels? You know, because it's a nice dance floor or whatever, and you know, hey, you're gonna pressure wash or clean those machines before you bring them over, and I most certainly are gonna do that, and so we got a lot ahead of us, and the move is basically starting now because of the container. and it lets me clear out the items around my machines so that the machines will be left nice and open and be able to get in there and get what we need underneath them so we can get them lifted, rolled to the openings of the building, lifted out on the trucks and brought over here. All right, we're going to keep it short. Be safe out there. Stay your distance. And get her done.